For the most realistic steering system available on the market, look no further than Sim Steering from Leo Bodnar. Designed and hand-built at the home of British Motorsport's Silverstone circuit, it's extensively used by professional driver training centres and race teams including Formula 1 since 2010. The high precision and completely linear response coupled with high strength provides the ultimate in realistic steering force feedback. Visit simsteering.com.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. The GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Good morning, good afternoon, hello iRacers, wherever you may be. This is ARL-TV and the V8 SuperCar Championship coming to you today live from Road Atlanta. I'm Alex Simpson and I'm joined in the commentary box today by Mark Noble. Good day fella, let's say that.
G'day everyone, how are you?
Road Atlanta, tricky little circuit. Very bumpy curbs always come into a big factor around here. How's the circuit and the car combo this week, Mark?
Actually, it's very good. I love it actually. When I was racing the V8, it's a really nice circuit. A bit slippery, the V8, but other than that, it's a pretty nice circuit.
Yeah, well, I mean, just to quickly touch on the championship for a second, while the guy's just finishing up qualifying, we had obviously a change in the lead last week. Tobias, with his fuel saving, took the lead in the championship. Obviously a lead A in second place, but you know, drivers like Trevor Johnson showed that he's got the stuff to perhaps compete with them as well. So perhaps just undone by the strategy of Tobias there. So I think we're going to have a good race today. I think Road Atlanta not always a favourite of guys, but like you said, the track just is a good combo and it just leads to good racing.
Yeah, it does, mate. It's that back straight. You can probably save a bit if you're up there if you're behind someone. It's longish straight. It's not the longest one, but it's you can get a good draft up there.
Yeah, just having a quick look at the weather conditions and how many laps today. We're looking at a 43 lap race here today, so quite a long one. Probably just simple one stopper. From the figures that I've been given, we're looking at perhaps a couple of stints, so pit stop in, looking maybe around about 18 to lap 25, and then vice versa if the guys go longer or shorter. So not much weather to really talk about, wind speed barely up at all, a little bit of cloud cover, but what you would say is perfect conditions for racing.
Yeah, no wind there. It's as you say, it's pretty perfect for them.
Yeah, a few guys not able to make it to the grid today. Real life always stepping in the way as it does. But we've got a reasonable turnout, so we're looking at about 20 odd drivers today, so it should be a good entertaining race. I think we're missing quite a few of the ANZ guys, I heard, so we'll have no red and black car train.
No.
As we did last week, so yeah, just on screen now, Tobias just completing one of his laps. Let's just have a quick look, just give you a rough idea of where everybody is at the moment. We've got Jared out in front at the moment. Tobias in second, Kurt in third, Jake Burton in fourth, Lance Perkins fifth. So not long to go yet. So expect that to change just a fraction, but guys are going to have to get their laps in. Mark Warmington in seventh, Will Dodd in 8th, Ian McPherson 9th, Shane Best in 10th. So yeah, let's just keep an eye on the stand-ins for the last few minutes, just see how that mix it up. Just while they're finishing their laps, if I could just give a quick shout out to all the sponsors ARL-TV have, as well as the series. So let's thank GTOmegaRacing.com if you're after a sim rig or a steering wheel stand. Go check them out. Depending on where you are in the world, they do have shipping. Sometimes it might be a bit expensive, while others it's great value for money. LeoBodner.com for, well, the sim steering system, as well as Leo Bodner cables, things like that. So it works really well with the software that they bolt onto that. Sim Garage for all your button box requirements. Do check them out. I think they're launching a new bit of software at the moment which works with like a fourth screen, or second if you've only got the one. Gives you a lot of telemetry information, works out fuel and all sorts of stuff for you. So keep an eye out on that. It's going to be a great little addition to our rigs, I think, once they've got that finalised. And just to give a shout out to our social media channels, so Twitter, Apex Racing TV, and ARLTV on Facebook. Let's not forget Mark and your Kimmy's Rural Fencing as well, main sponsor for the series, as well as Coastal Kitchenware, a few others that I haven't got up on screen right now, so apologies for that. Let me quickly just whiz it up as well. Lure Gardens, and Pressy Designs is in there as well. Alright guys, just finishing up their laps. We've been joined in the commentary box by Luke Everton. Good evening, Luke.
Good evening, fellas. How are we?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Just catching the very end of qualifying. At the moment, it looks like Tobias has just nicked it from Jared, but let's just wait for everybody to finish their laps, because I think he might still be out there. He is indeed. Let's just see how this works. If he's going to get himself a little improvement. Just needs about 1/10 of a second at the moment. Sit on a 21.5, and he's 21.4. Oh, sorry, sideways, giving it everything, but he has indeed done it right on the death. Takes pole position. Fantastic lap there from Jared.
5 100s.
Right, while everybody's just gridding up, let's just take you through the final stand-ins before the start of this race. So Jared Fulsall does indeed take pole with a 21.4. Tobias Cherney 21.455 is second. Kurt Stensberg keeps his third place with a 22.1. So those guys out front look like they're in a bit of a different league to the rest today. Jake Burton in 4th, Lance Perkins in 5th, Aaron Hamilton 6th, Mark Warmington did indeed make 7th, Will Dodd in 8th, great performance from him. Ian McPherson is 9th, while Shane Best is 10th. Jamie Peters 11th, Shane Stitolf is 12th. Jamie Eaton in 13th, Arnulf Kuller in 14th, Niels Jordan is 15th. While Renz is in 16th, Brian makes 17th, Brenton down in 18th, he's going to have to work his way through, and Weehan Chan is in 19th place. Alright, the guys are just getting there, making their way to the grid. What do you reckon, Luke? It's going to be a great one today, I think.
Yeah, always an exciting track, especially trying to get all these cars through the S's on the first couple of laps is good, so looks like they're ready for a start.
Yeah, it looks like a good start from Tobias. Perhaps Jared got a little bit bogged down there, going to be side by side going into turn 1. We've got incident further back as well. Cars avoiding, oh, that's what, 4 cars off in the background, and ricocheting back onto the circuit as well, so we'll have to check that out and see what happened there. But Tobias did indeed get into the first corner first, so last ditch attempt from Jared to nick pole has not helped him out there, because he's already got the rear end of that power bond car. Field looks a little bit separated going from the S's as well. I think that perhaps that accident, 4 cars being taken out of it, has given everybody the space they need, so no further incidents. Don't know if you guys have watched what happened back there. I mean, I'm guessing someone just got a little bit squirrely under the gas and got it sideways, and yeah, the usual thing happens.
Yeah, just gonna have a look at it now, man.
But yeah, so the front 2, very often have we seen these 2 coloured liveries battling it out. Just a little different this week with Jared up the front, trying to give it to Tobias rather than Lee D. For those that are tuning in thinking, oh, what's Lee going to do? He's going to affect his championship and that. But don't worry yet. We do have drop rounds here, so drivers will get rid of their worst performing round.
Yeah, just looking at the replay, it looks like Aaron Hamilton and who else was it? Don't know who he got into there. One of the Lenovo drivers by the look of it, but he's just come across him, must have spun the wheels a bit, had nowhere to go, and it's just been a chain effect. So unfortunately, a few of the KRF teams have been involved with that one. So.
Another bill for you, Mark. Every week without fail, mate.
Yeah, it looks like Aaron Hamilton just got a bit squirrely and come across in front of Lance Perkins, I think it was. Oh no, it was yeah, Lance Perkins it was.
Yeah, drivers obviously do have their fast toe, and there is another 4 out there for them to race, all in very similar position, but definitely a frustration will creep in. Not even to make it to the first corner after a week's worth of practice. Fortunately, we do match the official series, so guys will have been practicing already this week. So it won't be like it's a total bust for them.
Any seat time's good time, so especially if they're running identical series to the main one, then it's always good practice just to get out there amongst the traffic and have a bit of a go, you know, and work it out for the official series, iron out all the bugs.
Yeah, Tobias looked very out of shape there, and he's coming under a lot of pressure as well. His teammates just starting to close in on the back of Jared as well. Yeah, actually it looks a bit like we might have a power bond train today. We're going to switching it up for Road Atlanta.
You got ANZ boys in the sandwich this time.
Yeah, front 3 seem to be pulling away, so Kurt's going with the front 2. We thought perhaps these guys would pull just a little bit of a gap quite quickly based on qualifying times, but Kurt's there or thereabouts as well.
Yeah, if he can stay within a few seconds, the pit stop will be a bit interesting. If he can, that'll put a bit more pressure on them to hit their marks and everything.
Yeah, it's just looking at the drivers that did have to take a fast tow already. So we've got Shane, Jamie, Aaron and Brian all in there. So those guys find themselves quite a way down there with Brian a lap down, unfortunately. You got Jake Burton, another one of the Power Bond drivers, I believe, in 4th place. Seems to be trying to tag onto the back of Kurt, but these guys definitely driving away from Mark Warmington in 5th place at the moment. I think Mark's just getting himself past Brian there in the background.
Yeah, field seemed to be a bit spread out compared to last week after only a couple of laps.
Yeah, I'm just focused on, you know, like the most exciting moment. Keeps jumping back to the front here, so like you say, having a little bit look down. We've got a little bit of a battle going on. Niels Jordan here, he's putting a little bit of pressure on Jamie just ahead of him. But quite comfortable, when I say quite comfortable, 1.2 seconds to Rins behind him. But as well, and Lance Perkins as well. He's really putting the pressure on Brenton. I think that might have been Brenton just getting a little bit sideways. Oh, and again, in the background. I actually think he's got a bit of rear end damage on that car.
Yeah, I think Brenton was one that was involved in the start there.
It'd be guided for me picking that up. Sorry, Brendan. But it did look impressive one way and the other. But down to 16th, unfortunately for Brenton. He'll be just trying to hold that out to his pit stop window, get his fast toe, get himself a fresh ride. A few drivers missing today. We've got a few new faces in the top 10 as well. So Arnold Culler, we've seen him a few times. He's just a second or so behind Will Dodd, who's up into 7th place, who's really starting to pile the pressure onto Shane.
Yeah, as long as them two don't hit each other, I'll be happy.
Better jump down into the team channel and let them know. Gonna come up to a bit of lap traffic by the look of it as well.
Yeah, I think that's Brian there, suffering a little bit.
Yeah, he was also involved in that first lap incident, I think, as well.
No real change up at the front, just while we're watching this 3-car battle. Jared's still putting the pressure on. Kurt has dropped a couple of seconds back now, so they are starting to pull away now. They've broke the draft from Kurt. Kurt a similar sort of distance ahead of his teammate Jake though, so hopefully those guys will work together and just pull away. Could be a good week for Power Bond as far as the team championship standings go. We're only talking about Trevor Johnson in the warm-up. Here's Trevor's one of the drivers that's not here as well, so there's a few missing today, the regulars. But it's nice to see we still get, you know, a 20-car grid, 19, even without the usual suspects out there. As Will's having a look on Shane into the right-hander. Nice through there. Clearly teammates there working well together. There's no point in trying to defend up the inside or anything silly there. When your teammates got a run, you just slow each other down. Shane lets Will go through. I think Will has had a top 5 before, and you know, gets a nice solid drive today. Could be fighting for that as well. It's about 5 seconds already behind Mark Warmington, but lapping. I have to say, Mark has got a bit of an edge on him, so can't see Will closing in on him too quickly. It's all going to be about traffic and keeping it clean. And we've got Brian in the background again, having just a little moment. Must have just nicked the grass, but that's pretty much going to be his day done, I would think. Aaron Hamilton also retired. He's been in at a second stop, so his car must have been toast after the first incident. Just quickly jump back up with the leaders. So we see Jared giving it large up there.
Sorry to interrupt. Looks like Shane just had a big moment in behind Will there.
Yeah, he's kind of lost his place to Jamie and Arnoff. So all the way down to 9th. Just jumped away at the wrong time. As usual.
I was just about to.
Yeah, Shane under some pressure now. The Redback Racing Team car there. Oh, another mistake coming into the chicane. He's right on his tail now.
Yeah, just wait for the stand-ins to update as he crosses the line. Finds himself in 9th. Neil's hot on his tail. Yeah, he lost about 10 seconds there.
Yeah, that's good to see Jamie Eaton up there too. He's pretty steady driving. Don't see him very often on the screens, but it's good to see him up there. Reminds me of me, mate, with the luck department.
Yeah, I wonder if Shane's picked up some damage somewhere, because he's gone off again to the double right-hander on wide again. He looks like he's really struggling to get that car turned in. Down to 10th. He's got rins all over him as well now.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Shane, but you know, he can go 9-10 laps or even less, and all of a sudden he's sliding all over the place. Whether he burns his tyres up at the start trying to stay with people, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, gone in a bit too hot again. Perhaps the red mist has descended. He's got frustrated trying to just, you know what this car's like, you try too hard, it just bites you back even more.
Yeah, you can't push this car.
Finds himself slipping down. It does look like he's got some front right damage on that car though, just a little bit, but it might just be enough that's stopping him from turning in on these right-handers. It did look a little bit squirrely under braking going into the chicane as well, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. I'll be worth his team manager getting him in early. I said nothing.
No, they don't listen to me anyway, mate.
Just jump back up to the battle at the front. Still Jared putting the pressure on Tobias. So one thing we have seen all season long is a battle up front, which has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, just update, Shane just got that position back off Reams. Reams went wide at the same corner that Shane went on, so he's got that spot back.
It looks like Tobias is just giving himself a little bit of a gap there from Jared.
Yeah, we saw a couple of laps back. Jared got just a little bit out of shape coming out one of the corners. I think it was onto the back straight. Just lost a little bit of time there.
Yeah, definitely big change. This track seems to open up the field a lot more.
Yeah, Kurt's still hanging in there behind as well. He hasn't lost quite as much as he did those first few laps, so I wonder if he'd made a mistake somewhere. He's still only 2.9 seconds behind. Jake further 4 seconds behind him. And Mark 9 seconds behind him, so apart from these front two, that top five's really spread out now. Will Dodds lapping very similar sort of times to Mark now that he's sort of got past Shane. But Mark's in that no man's land that he was talking about last week when we interviewed him.
Yeah, he said that, didn't he? He's usually in sort of in between. He's just like, as you say, no man's land.
Yeah, that's every race for me. I seem to find that nice little gap between everybody too. I tell you what, it does get a bit tedious after a while.
Just on board with Gerard here. Seems to close that gap up a little bit to Tobias. You can hear him short shifting coming out of that chicane over the hill, making sure he doesn't lose traction. That's why I'm so rubbish in this car, because I just want to thrash the pants off of it.
Yeah.
Slow and steady seems to be the order of business.
Yeah, but you like things with a lot of downforce, mate.
Yeah, big wings, bigger the wings the better.
Yeah, no, they haven't got much of a pit window, to be honest, tonight. They've only got, what did we say, 5, 6, 7, probably 7, 8 lap pit window.
Yeah, from what you know, from what I heard as well, no point in trying to save fuel. You can't make any difference with it, so it's basically just 2 sprints. You just go for it. It's whether or not the guys take a full tank at the start to do their longest stint, or they take a shorter one and go for a longer stint later, try and get, you know, maybe a bit of an undercut if you're being held up or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see what the leaders do. Could be 5, could be what, about 5 laps between them if they've gone for you know, for a slightly different mode. Could be why Jared's pretty desperate to get himself past. Just can't quite get enough of a run. Maybe a little bit lighter out there. I'm sure I've been told before the fuel doesn't make a great deal of difference as far as the weight goes of these beasts.
Not until you get down a fair bit. But I was just thinking with Jared, he's probably thinking, oh yeah, I'll pull in the same time as Tobias, because every time Tobias pulls in, he gets an ANZ car inside his car coming out of the pits.
Yeah, true that. Last week, rather interesting. It might have been the week before, I can't remember. I think it was the week before, wasn't it, as Brand?
Yeah, I think it's happened to Tobias, the ANZ boys, I think 2 or 3 times now over the couple of seasons.
Just jump back, just have a quick look, see what some other guys doing. Mark, you are in the middle of nowhere, so Mr. Warmington, so we will just quickly jump in and say hi, see how he's doing. But yeah, UK&I driver. Pretty sure they're going to have a new logo anytime soon. Marker driver always seems to keep himself out of trouble for the most part. Occasionally trouble finds him, but yeah, doing a great job today in 5th place. Can't remember when we spoke to him, did he mention that he was looking for a 5th here? I think he did, so.
Yeah, he did. He said a top 5 here he'd be happy with, yeah.
Yeah, see Wheel Dodge just in the background. Again, the guys are lapping so close. I mean, last time by, Mark was 124.136 and Will a 124.184. So there's not much between these guys. I think if we're going to see a battle of form, it's going to be back markers perhaps holding up Mark, or difference of a couple of seconds in the pit stops. Something that might just get Will to really get the bit between his teeth and try and push on. Yeah, field really starting to spread out now as well. Looks like Shane's another retiree. Down in 17th now. He's not out there, which is a shame.
Yeah, Tobias and Jared have just put a lap on Jamie Peters actually, so
Yeah, Jamie was one of the drivers that got caught up in the first lap shenanigans, so just trying to do his bit. He's done well to stay a lap ahead as long as he did. Jamie gets himself past Wee Han Chan. That was actually for a place there, so just deciding probably better off not battling. He's in 15th. Just get some more retirements and he could end up himself with a decent clutch of points today. Again, he just sort of holds his line. Let's cut at the inside for turn 1. I think it's going to be another driver that's going to improve substantially. We do see that quite a lot in this series actually. Drivers come on, struggle with the car the first few weeks, such a handful. They just get more familiar with it. Just start getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Before he knows it, he's going to be fighting in and amongst with the rest of the guys out there.
yes, he has improved it. Only like 4th round, but he's improved a lot just in 4 weeks, so yeah. Jared's right up Tobias's bumper bar now.
Yeah, lap 17 as well, so we could be just a few laps away from pit stops here. Yeah, it's quite interesting to see some of the I rating of some of these drivers. I don't normally focus too much on that, obviously being a hosted league. Don't pay too much attention, don't see it in the results or anything else like that, but you know, Tobias some 4,800 just goes to show that he's no slouch, so you know the kind of talent that's out there. And Jared 4,600, so that's quite a battle.
Yes.
It looks like Jared might have just closed that gap up a little bit on Tobias there over the last few laps.
Yeah, if my spies are right, I think we could be seeing Tobias in this time. And they are indeed. So Jared going longer. Just as we said, the pit window opens from lap 18. You can make it to the end from here. Jared's got a bit of clean track. Let's just see what he does as far as lap time now. Keep an eye on keep an eye on Tobias's pit stop time. It's all really going to be about how long Jared goes, whether or not he gets clean track. Those first few laps, the tyres are always just a little bit nicer. Drivers do seem to get an undercut. Although sometimes they say to me that it doesn't make much of a difference, but I'm guessing there's a little bit of confidence comes with having some fresh boots. 21.7 second stop for Tobias. Puts him down in 5th at the moment, and 21.6 for Kurt, so almost identical work from the Power Bond team there. Let's just have a look, see what Jared does this time. Is he going to continue through? And indeed he does. So definitely going for a longer strategy out there.
Yeah, he could go to probably about lap 25 if he's going to use the full tank.
Jake Burton up to 2nd place. We haven't seen much of Jake today. She just fell off the leaders quite quickly. More really to do with the first lap. I mean, I think he sort of had to take a little bit of avoiding action to what was going on behind him. Well, I say behind him, just to the side of him as it was at the start. Does unsettle you a little bit.
Yeah, Jared just got held up a little bit there through the twisties down the hill there by back marker. No fault of the back marker, just really bad spot to catch lap traffic through there. There's nowhere really to pull off the road for him, and definitely lost a little bit of time there.
Yeah, let's just jump back on with him as he backs it in through the chicane there in rather good fashion. Goes on for another, so it definitely looks like he's going to go for the reverse strategy, long first. So he'll be even more chuffed that he was able to stay on the back of Tobias through that first run. Let's just see what Tobias does this lap around, see how much of a advantage he might have had. Free air, no pressure, fresh tyres. Yeah. Well, comparing the difference, Jared with 123 flat and Tobias with a 121.9, so 1.1 seconds gained that lap. Luke, you did mention he was held up a little bit, but time like that is going to really hurt him. He's going to perhaps be, if he does go to 25, he could be as much as 4 or 5 seconds behind. No amount of fresher tyres is going to close that gap. In 18 laps, you see how close these guys were on pace this first stint. Mark Warmington takes his pit as well, drops himself down to 11th temporarily. Jake Burton still out there as well in 2nd place. Let it settle down and we'll...
Jared's car is starting to get a little bit loose now under brakes as well as powering out of the corners, so definitely if he's losing that much time, he's really got to get his move on and get into the pits as soon as he can.
Yeah, let's just check them as they come by again. We're about 0.8 of a second that time. So Jared a little bit quicker, 22.7 compared to Tobias's 21.9. Might as well be a 22 flat for all intents and purposes. So Will Dodd in from 6th.
Yeah, this
Well,
will be interesting.
from 3rd I think he was. So carries on. He's definitely going for his stint strategy.
Yeah, this could be interesting.
So I'm pretty sure he will come back at Tobias for the this rest of this 2nd stint, but it's whether or not the damage is done. He's going to be too far back or not. But yeah, I mean, just to have a look, I mean, Kurt's even out there lapping considerably quicker as well. So he's closing the gap. He is 10 seconds, well, 9 seconds behind his teammate, but a couple more laps, and I think if he gets a bit of a dodgy stop, could have Kurt all over him as well. That definitely will play into Tobias's hands.
Oh well, Will Dodd made a bit of time up there in the pit stop on Mark.
Yeah, looks like he's what, 1.3 seconds behind now, so it's going to spice things up a little bit for Mark. Certainly that's close enough that you get that little extra tenth of a second that you didn't know you had in there when you're trying to chase someone down. He's got Jared right behind him as well, so he's going to have to get out of the way, which would be a bit of a shame. Jared, definitely, you can see him siding out everywhere now, so those tyres are starting to scream.
I'd say he's definitely got to come in now.
He's actually quicker than Tobias that last time by. I'm guessing Tobias caught some traffic. Jake Burton's in as well.
Yeah, Jared's in.
Right, let's jump over to Tobias. See.
Yeah, I've got the stopwatch on Jared now, so we'll see his comparison is doing the long stint.
Yeah, he'll have a lot less time in the pits, just a little bit less fuel to take on board. Guys just can't pump it in quicker, as quick. Tobias coming over the top of the hill now, around the crest, into the last turn. Gonna be close, but I think he's got it. He's still in the box. There he goes.
Yeah, that was nearly 22 seconds, so...
Yeah, no real difference. I mean, Kurt's coming down the main straight now. Obviously, I know Jared's left, but he's not that far behind at all.
It'd be interesting to see what happened there. Normally, like a bit of a splash and dash with a set of tyres, you're looking at about maybe 16, 17 seconds from memory, so it's taking a bit more than maybe what he needed.
Yeah, just looking at the actual time here, now that we've got it, 23.5 seconds, so that is out the front, guys. That's the longest one of them all. Expected it to be the shortest.
Yeah, well, Tobias only had 21, so he's lost another 2 seconds just in that pit stop, minus whatever he lost staying out there for a bit longer.
Yeah, Kurt's about 8 seconds back actually, now that it's sort of filtered itself out, so not much going to go on between Gerard and Kurt. I think a gap of about 4 seconds to the leader. Still doable, I think. We'll keep an eye on what sort of pace they're at. But we certainly saw what kind of condition the tyres were in after the end of a 25 lap run with Jared slipping and sliding everywhere, so that's going to be what Tobias is like at the end of his stint, so could be easy pickings as long as Jared can get up to him. One driver still yet to pit. Niels Jordan. He's in. Pitting in from 7th place. Well, 6th place he was, sorry. Will Dodd already slips through.
Yeah, Will was right on the back of Mark then coming into the last chicane and just got held up. It's a bad spot for Brenton to be there, but it wasn't Brenton's fault, it's just wrong spot, wrong time.
Yeah, as does happen so often in racing. Yeah, it definitely looks like he's got a bit between his teeth though. He's already starting to close back in on Mark. So they're going to be interesting little battle for the remainder of the race.
Yeah.
Just checking the lap times out there. Ooh, well, that's I'm guessing Tobias got held up on that lap a little bit. 123.1, suppose, at 121.8, so the gap is down to 3 seconds. So it could be hard work for Jared, but I think he's already had it, got the job done. Seems to be coming quite fast. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I looked up and he's 2.6 seconds behind her on. Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, Will's still just trying to get right onto the tail of Mark. Get himself in a position where he can make a move. Jimmy Peters in the pits again from what was 10th place, so not sure what's gone on there. Lance Perkins into the pits as well. They're currently sat 12th and 13th, so I'm guessing there must have been some sort of coming together. Last time by, Mark just pulled a 1/10 of a second on Will. Seems to me he can get to about here, but struggles to really tighten up that gap. No change in the leaders still, well, 2.9 seconds now.
He's got him in eyesight, but it's trying to get there, especially when it's Tobias.
Yeah, let's just jump back up with the leaders, just a quick look. Traffic also coming into play as well, separating them. That's what I also want to do, try and keep a car between them at all times. Perhaps in previous weeks it might have been a bit easier to have done. What are we down to? 16 cars out on track at the moment, so just a few more.
Yeah, a good little battle here with Niels Jordan and Ian McPherson. Sort of pretty much same distance as everybody else's apart.
Yeah, 9th and 10th going at it. So that last time by him was like nearly a second a lap faster, so see if he can carry on at that pace. Oh, he does look right on the tail of Niels now. Good exit from this tricky right-hander. Let's see him have a little run. Maybe just got a little twitch on. It's a bit too far back to me to have a run, but as always, catching is one thing, overtaking another.
Yeah, and from the new boys that joined the series this season from Demidov, so we all know Nils, one of the most improved drivers out there.
Yeah, I want to hold on to this. I mean, he's currently sat in 8th place. Great result for him.
Oh yeah. You'll be over the moon.
Yeah, Will Dodd looks like he's dropped back just a little bit from Mark. 1.1 second the gap now, so not that that's a great deal. Tobias still holding sort of 2.5 second lead. I think it's all going to be about the last 5 laps of the race between those two. When Tobias's tyres get a little slick.
Looks like we just... oh, he's connecting back up now. Jake Burton lost his internet on her.
Yeah, indeed, Jake down to 14th place. Gutted for him, such a solid drive. Power Bond obviously had 3 of the 4 cars in the top, well, 3 of the top 4 cars. There we go, I said it. I lost my brains. It is early for me. It's my excuse. Still Ian trying to put pressure on. Not able to really tighten in. Again, he was a little bit quicker the last time by. Gap down to about 0.4 of a second.
Yeah, well, I can vouch for Nils. It's easy to catch him, but it's hard to get around him.
Yeah, he had a small run on him on that main straight last lap, but still not close enough to look up the inside. So.
Yeah, the hardest part when you get so close is just spotting your braking points, you know. You get tucked up tight, you have to sometimes peek and have a little look, and that slows you down just a fraction. And that's perhaps what Ian's suffering from at the moment. Just doesn't want to rear end Nils as well.
Yeah, it is hard in these things when you're up. Oh, Nils was a bit sideways there.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he went in a bit deep into turn 1, but the nature of the track means he wasn't under too much pressure. A little kink left before the right. Again, looks closer than he's ever been this time. See if he gets a good exit. Looks like he did. He's closing in 0.2 of a second down this back straight. Picked up the draft nicely. He's having a little look up the inside. No, not quite close enough.
Yeah, just on board, he broke a little bit earlier there, so.
Yeah, I think he's more trying to force Niels into just a little mistake. Yeah, take advantage of that. Again, he looks just a little bit too far back to have a run. Got about 9 laps to go. Caught myself watching the race there, these two. Jake Burton has reconnected, all the way down in 16th though. He has got Renz and Wee Han Chan on that lap, so might be able to give himself a couple of places. Just quickly going to check back in with the leaders. That gap's down to 1.5 seconds. What we also don't want to forget now is the battle between Will Dodd and Mark Warmington. Under a second, and that's for 4th place now. I have to say, guys, I think Jared's in the driving seat here. We know how slippy those tyres get on that 25 lap stint. I know Tobias can sometimes be a little bit more conservative on these rubber than others, but I think it's still going to be a little bit tricky to hold him off. In that couple of seconds that he lost with the back marker shortly after the pit stop phase. It's coming back to haunt him. Oh, very sideways through the S's as well. He's not conserving those tyres, I can tell.
Yeah, well, he's got a few more laps on him, less than Tobias, so he can afford to push a little bit harder.
Just jumped to a Will. He's right on the tail of Mark at the moment. Mark coming under ever more pressure. These guys are going to have a great battle these last 8 laps.
It looks like something. Looks like Ian might have got caught up with a back marker, I think.
Yeah, back to 1.4. He's got all that hard work to do again. And actually looks like Jamie or Shane just got past Jamie. I don't know, those guys are having a little battle as well. Right, half a second covers the front 2 now. Brenton just in front of Tobias. Keeps himself over to the left. So if Jared gets past Tobias,
Catching him, and looks like he's got a good run now.
yeah, let's say if he gets past him, I think that's the race. Can't see that he's going to be able to claw back slightly older tyres. Oh, he gets a fantastic drive out of there as well, right on the tail of Tobias. This is certainly going to be where he's going to have a look. Tobias going extremely defensive already. Doesn't want him to slip up the inside. Maybe he gives him the opportunity to do so, I'm surprised. Side by side. Oh, backs it in beautifully. It's going to be very, very tricky on the exit here. Tobias got a chance to get a run back him. He needs to take it now. He does so, but it's still going to be... I know. I think Jared thought better of it. He thinks about having a little dive maybe up the inside of turn 1. Tobias again letting him have a sniff. Certainly would have blocked it off. Good racing from the pair there. A nice little exchange. Tobias not giving it up. Oh, sideways in there as well. That's it though, Jared's through, and I can tell you he's going to drive off.
Oh, that was great driving.
Yeah, Tobias, in my opinion, just a little bit too kind. Should have made Jared do everything the hard way around the outside.
Yeah, you might have been thinking there that let him have the inside and he'll get a better run of him out of the corner instead.
Yeah, he's at that sort of phase that we saw Jared go through with his tyres as well, coming up to, well, what must be about 20 laps now on them. We thought that perhaps Jared's pit stop and the time that he'd lost was way too much, but he's clawed that time back. Fantastic.
It just shows the great consistency of his driving too, to be able to maintain and close in that gap every lap, you know, instead of without making any mistakes.
Yeah, he knew in the back of his head what Tobias has got to go through, and he knew that if he can just get on his tail, an opportunity is going to show itself towards the end of the race. Indeed it did. Tobias not dropping back too quickly though, so let's not count him out yet. Do you think it's going to be difficult for him to get a run out of any of these slow corners? Maybe if he can just stay on his tail, he can force a little mistake. Just having a quick look where Jared is in the standings. Not sure he's done all the races, so. No, just a 2, so he's got a race in hand. 6th place at the moment, just behind Mark, so doing great. Not sure, I think with these points he'll have enough to jump his, he'll have enough to jump Lee.
Yeah, definitely consistency pays off in this league as well. If you can maintain your decent finishes, even just top 10, definitely be with a chance.
Just check this battle out a bit further back still. Will Dodd trying to put the pressure on Mark Warmington. Oh, it looks like he's had a bit of rubbing with someone. That left hand side just looks a little bit scuffed up.
Yeah, Will was right up on him in the last lap, but then Marcus pulled away through this section, so let's see how it goes this time.
Oh, Jared just had a really big moment coming out of the last chicane there. Got the car all sideways coming up the hill under the bridge, and Tobias nearly collected him. So that battle definitely still on.
Yeah, Lance Perkins as well, trying to get up to the back of Shane to 11th place. Stick with this battle for the lead at the moment until Will closes back in, and then we'll have a little look, see how that's going. As I say that, back within half a second. Yeah, very interesting to see the slight difference in line there. Mark turning a lot earlier for the chicane than Will. Will deciding to sort of have a bit of a sweeping late exit, work more on the entrance to the corner, working more on the exit. Three laps to go still. Leader's not separated by a great deal, but 0.8 of a second. It's probably the largest we've seen it in Jared's favour. Could have some team orders in play here. Coming up on the back of Jake. See if Jake just holds him up for one corner. I bet he will. Decides not to. Now just needs to get out of the way of his teammate as quickly as possible. I mean, he does. Tobias too far back now, 1.1 seconds. We know how bad those tyres are. Last couple of laps. And Tobias is starting to feel it. Will Dodd 1.7 seconds back, so I think he's given up the hunt for that 4th place, settling for 5th. Nonetheless, still an impressive result for him today. So as Jared comes around for the last lap, 0.9 of a second lead. That's going to be enough. I can't see Tobias being able to close that time in and get a move done all in this lap. The pressure is rather immense though, last lap of the race. Road Atlanta can bite you.
Yeah, just too far back I think for this draft as well, so just got a couple of corners to go now.
Yeah, as we're just looking down the back straight, does get a little bit of a run, but only enough to close up. It's going to be tight over the finish. As both drivers have got fuel, it'll be all good. And here comes Jared. Take victory here, round 4. ARL-TV V8 SuperCar Series. What a fantastic drive, absolutely perfect with the strategy. You thought he'd gone too long? Not at all. Tobias Cherney, 2nd place. He'll perhaps be a little bit gutted with that. That 2 seconds that he lost shortly after the pit stops might have been enough. Kurt Stenberg coming across in 3rd place. He drove a solid race, 22 seconds behind the leaders. As we said, very, very solid drive. Gutted for his teammate Jake Burton, who I'm almost sure would have had 4th had he not disconnected. But still, this little battle for 4th place, well, I think Mark's way too far in front for Will to do anything into this last corner. And actually looks like he's spluttering fuel. I might be wrong. No, I am wrong. It really did sound like that. Just being very careful on the gas not to lose it. I think going over the crest there. Give me a little bit of excitement for the day anyway.
Well, at least Mark can't complain about being in no man's land today anyway.
Indeed. Will Dodd coming across in 5th. I'm not sure what's quite happened to Arnoff as well. He's dropped back down to 7th place on those last few laps. And Jamie Eaton up to 6th. So Niels Jordan in 11th. So he must have had something go off that we didn't see. So a little bit of late changes, but this might just be drivers quitting out of the sim and the standings going all haywire. Right, guys, would you do me the honours of just taking us through the final standings, please?
Yep, so in first we have Jared Fizzle, followed by Tobias Cerny. Third was Kurt Stenberg, 4th Mark Warmington, 5th a great drive there, Will Dodd, Arnav Kutcher in 6th, Jamie Eaton, Niels Jordan in 8th, Ian McPherson in 9th, and Jamie Peters rounding out the top 10. Then we have Lance Perkins 11th, Shane Stidoff 12th, Brenton O'Brien in 13th, Wee Han Chan in 14th, Reens Dreges in 15th, Jake Burton 3 laps down in 16th, Shane Best in 17th, Brian Monga in 18th, and Aaron Hamilton in 19th. But the last 3 there look like retirements.
Yeah, so I was right. It was just the results just going a little bit haywire as the drivers left the track. And now my cat's trying to bring things up on the screen as well, so just ignore that. Right, I don't know about you guys, but I think we expected a good race here this week, but we've been delivered another corker for the actual top spot, and Will and Mark certainly kept it interesting. A lot of different little individual battles throughout that race, even though the field was perhaps a little bit filtered out from previous weeks. We still had a great race.
Yeah, it was. There was some good little battles there through the field. Even though some of them were a second half apart most of the time, but there was some good driving, good racing to watch actually.
Right, we're just going to take just a few seconds, get ourselves sorted, get a few guys pop in, hopefully have a interview with a couple, and we'll be back just in a short sec.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels, including Logitech, Fanatic, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Welcome back to ARL-TV. Alex Simpson, Mark Noble, Luke Emerton here. The after race show, if you would have it, of round 4 V8 SuperCar series. We have got quite a few guys popped in for a little interview. I'm going to try and get a few of you in. I'm going to actually start off a little bit different this week. Rather than grabbing the leaders, let's grab Mark up. He had a little moan last week, said that he was in no man's land, but certainly weren't any of that this week. Pressure all the way right to the final corner there, Mark. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I actually did think it was going to be a deja vu moment, because off the start, I think Aaron and Brenton had this mutual attraction thing going on, and I thought the entire grid was going to get wiped out. So after that, that gap started to open up again. Jake started to leave me, and then I started to get a bit of a gap on, can't remember if it was Lance or Wilt, no, Shane, I think. And then as I came out of my pit stall, I thought I'm going to have that same gap, and came across my teammate at the top. And I thought we were going to wipe each other out, and I lost every bit of the buffer I had back to Will. And then, yeah, like you said, the last 20 laps, it was trying to keep him that 1 second back without making a stupid mistake and giving up 4th or 5th. Great fun though.
Yeah, 4th place you ended up. Obviously, I think it was Jake, wasn't it? Lost connection, so you got gifted that. So it's always nice to have that. But I think vaguely, I'm trying to remember. You said something about a top 5 last week that you were hoping for. So 4th place, well done.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? What were the chances of that? I felt really bad for Jake though, because as soon as I saw he got the disconnect, so I was glad he got back in. It's never nice to get a place because someone's had a technical problem. But I won't lie, it did make me think, okay, it won't be so bad if Will gets me now. I'll still have 5th place.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm the same. When you get gifted one night, you think, okay, well, I can just take it a little bit easy. Be safe.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if you remember last season, I lunched the engine as well, didn't I? And had to trickle into the pit stall. So for the last 20 laps, all I kept thinking was, don't downshift too fast, don't downshift too fast.
Well, you give me a little bit of excitement at the end there, because I thought it might have run out of fuel, but I guess you're just taking it super easy going over the crest so you don't lose it on the final corner or anything silly like that. But I was like, oh, you might be out of fuel, what's going on? So, yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, no, and I've got to say thanks as well to Nobby, Mark Noble, and Kimmy's Rural Fences. Through a little bit of sponsorship our way this week, so I'll be catching up with Mark hopefully a bit later. But yeah, say thank you to that. So before you say any shout outs to your sponsors, we actually now have a sponsor.
Hey.
So thanks again.
No problem,
Yeah, well
mate.
done, mate.
Just having a look at what circuit's up next. Where's the schedule when you need it? Montreal. Up next, I believe. How are you looking forward to that one?
I've got to say, I do like Montreal. It's one of those tracks where each sector's a bit of a rhythm. If you get offline at the start, you can be chasing your tail the entire sector, but if you nail it, the lap time just comes to you. So I am looking forward to that. I actually thought this week was going to be a drop week. I thought I was going to just blow it. So it's a bit of a bonus.
Right, thanks Mark for popping in. Well done today, 4th place. Nice to see you up there representing UK and I for us. It's not going to do any harm for your championship standings. 5th currently, so a nice 4th place. I think that'll see you jump back up above Lee. Put the pressure on people like Trevor. So I mean, yeah, it's all going to plan so far as the season goes. I think just yeah, carry on that way, and we'll see you fighting at the end, mate. Consistency is the key.
Yeah, thanks, lads. And also got to say congrats to my teammates, especially Arnav, who got a pretty solid finish there as well. So we bagged a good few team points this week. And for Rainis actually remembering to get up this morning and start the race, that's always a bonus.
Yeah.
He sounds like Mr. Prescott.
Yeah, I don't know where
Yeah.
he's been the last couple of weeks. Snoozing, I think. So.
Yeah, but thanks again, lads. And again, thanks for putting on the series and the broadcast. It makes the racing just that little bit special. You know, that vanity moment when you can go back and watch it.
Well, you got plenty of airtime as well today, so yeah, you enjoy the show back. Right, thanks, Mark. See you next week.
Yep, see you next week, guys.
Right, let's bring up. I'm gonna bring up Kurt just for a quick second. Very bit of an isolated race for you this week, Kurt. Sort of, Mark was talking about no man's land last week, and I think that was pretty much your race in a nutshell. Just tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, that's basically my race. Tried to stick with the leaders at the start there and get a bit of draft, but slowly I just saw him drift away, and yeah, then after the pit stop I started making the mistakes that Mark was talking about last week that you make when you're in no man's land. So just backed it down a level and tried to keep it on the racetrack.
You know, she had a tiny little bit of company for a while from your teammate, but unfortunately he got disconnected, reconnected, so that put him out of it as well. And you had like, what was about a 40-second gap behind you then, so it's just a case of plodding along. But nonetheless, I mean, podium finish again, so it's a couple of weeks in a row you've had some really great results out there. Certainly not going to do any harm to the championship standings for you.
No, pretty happy with third, and Tobias been second. That's pretty good points for the team's champ, and yeah, pretty good points for the individual champ too. So
yeah, I think we briefly touched on this last week as well. But I mean, you know, now that I've got the table up in front of me, I mean, what are the hopes and aspirations for the championship? I mean, we're round 4 now, so we started to see who you're going to be racing against for both, you know, each individual races and the championship. Where are you hoping to settle in at?
well, I didn't expect to be up as far as I am, but now I am where I am. I'd like to keep in the top 5 if that would be possible. I know Lee Day and Trevor have missed a race, so that's, yeah, they're going to come back when the drop rounds come into effect, but yeah, hopefully I can keep in the top 5.
Well, I think just, you know, keep a steady performance like you've done so far this season. I don't see any reason why you won't, because you never know what's going to crop up. So drivers take these drop rounds early. Occasionally they have an absolute shocker coming together, which bites them later on. So yeah, congratulations today on another podium. Just before I send you back down to the interview channel, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, quick shout out to Tobias and Jake and to Powerbon and Daco.
Oh, well done again, mate. It was good to see a few more of you Powerbon guys in the race. And yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame Jake got disconnected. Otherwise, I think it'd have been an absolute awesome result for you guys today.
Yeah, 3 in the top 4 it would have been, unfortunately.
Right, thanks a lot, Kurt. Good luck next week at Montreal.
Yep, thank you.
Right, cheers, Kurt. Right, let's see who we're going to grab up now. Let's grab Mr. Tobias up. Mr. Journey, welcome to the familiar commentary box. You've been up here more than any.
Yeah, hello guys.
Well,
There you go, mate.
Pip to the victory today in the last sort of 3 or 4 laps. It looked like strategy had gone perfectly to plan. You built up a nice sort of 5-second lead, and then I think you caught a bit of traffic, cost you a couple of seconds shortly after Jared had pit, and all of a sudden he was back on you, sort of 3 seconds behind, and from there I think it was just he slowly reeled you in. Perhaps that little bit of freshness on the tyres at the end there. I mean, how was the car those last 5 laps?
Actually, it was worse when Jared passed me and it came back for the last 2 laps. But yeah, exactly how you said. After my pit stop, I pulled out 221's high, which was, I was really surprised, and I thought I would gain massive time on Jared. But yeah, 3-4 laps after the pit stop, I caught some traffic and did a few 23s, which hurt me massively, and so he was only 4 or 5 seconds behind me, and then he pulled out his fastest time, or some fast laps, and yeah, then I knew, okay, it will be very difficult, although his tires were not that much better, but however they still were better, and I knew I also had to look a little bit for the fuel. Spotter went crazy with 2 laps to go, telling me I had to stop for more fuel, and I was totally confused. Checked the ice speed, messed up turn 1, only to see that there is still 2.4 laps to go left of the tank. So I don't know what caused the spotter to tell me lies there. But yeah, it was an interesting race. I thought I could re-overtake Jared after turn 1 when he made the pass. I mean, we were passing us a little bit there, going side by side a little bit. But yeah, I got a bad run onto the start-finish line and too late to cover the inside, and so he went through, and then it's really difficult to get back there uphill.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, I think I commented on the time that you were very fair and didn't really try and squeeze up the, squeeze him on the inside or cover the inside off there. So, is that, I mean, is that something perhaps you have in the back of your mind? Because obviously the differences in ping with, the US servers and that, sorry, the Australian servers, that sometimes it's just better just to give the room and not try and fight it too hard.
Yeah, of course. I was in a practice session yesterday with Stenny and Jake, and yeah, we also tested this a little bit. And it turned out that if someone on the backstretch, for example, touches my rear, basically I'm around before I notice that something touched me there. So it's very difficult. That's why I'm not going for the super defensive moves, swinging the car around, squeezing someone, because if I'm the one in front, I know that I'll be the one who will spin. So, and I didn't want to cause this. I thought I would be maybe able to get a good run out of the hairpin up the back straight and get the position back or something, but yeah, in the end I would say I overheated the tires a little bit, had to cool them down, and so the last 2 laps were okay then again, but yeah. Car wasn't that bad at all, total, but Jared did a fantastic job. I think he was a little bit more lucky after his pit stop with the fresh tires, and yeah, he also got this incredible pole time. I mean, I got a massive tow by Stenny, so thanks to Stenny there, but Jared beat me, I think, without a tow, so it's okay that he won.
Yeah,
I see that he got some penalty points, so it's not that a big difference in points then.
Yeah, I haven't seen the I haven't looked at that part yet, so well, there you go, that works out quite nicely then. And yeah, he had a fantastic last little stab at it, and he's qualifying, I think he was so loose coming off there, but he actually gave it everything. He was come across the line practically sideways, and yeah, just picture. So it was quite an impressive lap that we caught the end of, so fair play to him for that. But yeah, like you said, nonetheless, I mean, good result, second place, just consolidates your position in the championship. You know, these are good quality points, and you haven't got to worry about, like, you know, if you have a collision with a back mark or anything else like that later on, you've got these points to fall back on. And you know, as the drop round there, obviously a lot of your rivals have already got a couple of drop rounds in place, so you know, it's nice to have that sort of little bit of a safety net, I guess.
Yep, indeed.
Well, we're up to Montreal next week, so you know, tell us how you like the circuit, what you're expecting the challenges to be there, and you know, is it somewhere you're going to be quick?
Definitely, I'm looking forward to Montreal also in the official series. I managed to start there on P7 in the Monday night main race, so I will give my best. I think last season I won there and secured my championship over Jared. So pretty sure I will be fast again there. I really like the track. It's super nice. It has all the flat corners and the curbs, and got a very good setup. I'm running a different setup at Montreal than on all the other tracks somehow. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think will be Enduro again. I'm not sure, I think. Normal round, I guess.
Mark?
Yeah.
Any confirmation on that? What are we next week? Just normal or Enduro?
I think normal.
Not sure.
I bet this will be Enduro and Road America, I guess, so it will be normal. But anyway, also got a sprint run in the official series. Will be good practice for this, and yeah, I can't wait for it.
Yeah, well, congratulations again, mate. Before we let you go, do you want to just give a shout out to your sponsors and that?
Sure, I want to give a shout out to Powerbond, to Dayco, to all our other sponsors. I hope that we got some people watching the stream. Maybe Ryan, our team boss, was watching and making some pictures. Otherwise, we have to make the pictures and for our Facebook page. And it was good to see Jake and Stenny behind and running 2-3-4 for most of the time. Unlucky that Jake dropped from the server, but I think we will try to transfer the form we had today to next week and have a strong race there, and hopefully see Trevor and Lee also back in the box.
Yeah, congratulations again, mate, and I wish you guys all the best for next week.
Thank you, and thanks for broadcasting. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, no problem.
No worries, mate.
Right, let's do one more. Who should we pick, guys? You're cool.
Maybe Shane?
Yeah, let's grab Shane up then.
the new father.
Yeah. Welcome to the commentary box, Shane. And congratulations, as Mark reminded me, on the birth of your little one.
Hey guys, how are you? Yeah, no, thank you very much. Yeah, it's an awesome feeling for sure.
Well, sleepless nights are ahead, I'm sure. But you managed to get some time in to have some practice. How did that work out for you today with the race?
Well, as far as practice is concerned, yeah, I haven't had much sleep this week, and nearly didn't make it tonight, but yeah, the missus let me have a go. Yeah, so I finally got on and yeah, did a few laps and yeah, I don't know. Didn't really have enough time to practice to really get into the groove of things, but I really love this track and yeah, so didn't really go to how I wanted, but hey, these things happen.
Yeah, let's just have a very quick, just bringing up the standings actually, because obviously my overlay's giving me dud information. Yeah, 12th place. I'm trying to remember, did you get caught up in the incident at the start of the race?
Yeah, mate, I think Aaron and yeah, someone else. I think they got together and then it just caused a huge chain reaction. And here I was, I saw that accident happen on the right and I'm like, oh sweet, I'm on the left, everything's all good. And then, yeah, before you know it, I'm heading into the left-hand wall and yeah, limped back to the pits. Obviously made an extra stop. And then yeah, it was a fairly boring race from then on and yeah, I was just too inconsistent. I think I had 18 incidents and yeah, that's just, yeah, I'm really disappointed in that. Usually try and take a bit of pride in doing somewhat a little bit better than that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, obviously 12th place, still a pretty decent result. A good clutch of points considering, like you say, you're in the wall before the first corner, so an extra pit stop didn't hurt. I mean, didn't help even. But yeah, so 12th place. I mean, you say probably didn't go as well as planned, but actually in the end, I think you know, did a good job there just to pick up that position. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good to finish in 12th. Yeah, probably was hoping for a top 10, but yeah, you can't aim too high when the world's against you.
Yeah, that's true. Well, next week is Montreal. Is the missus going to be kind enough to grant you a couple of hours to do that one?
We might see how we go. Yeah, little bub was asleep tonight, so yeah, it worked out really well. But Montreal probably is a bit of a bogey place for me in whatever car I race in. I mean, I'm not the fastest V8 driver out there by any means, but I'm usually pretty good in other cars. But Montreal, as much as I love the track, I just, yeah, can't seem to get my head around it.
Yeah, I know that feeling actually. It just seems to be one of my bugbear tracks, so I enjoy the layout, but just not very quick there. Right, well, thanks very much, Shane. Do you want to just give us a quick shout out to team and sponsors and all that before we let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Playseat and Lamanovo and yeah, Roma for letting me join the team and Aaron for putting in all the effort with the strategies and setups and all the rest of it. We've got a really good team behind us. I'm still learning and yeah, hopefully later down the track we can start getting some really good results.
I wish you all the best for the future races, mate. And
thank you, mate. Your hosting and everything is awesome too. Yeah, your commentary and everything, it's awesome.
Cool. Thanks for that. Right, enjoy your rest of your weekend, buddy. We'll see you next week for Montreal.
Thanks, mate. See you guys.
Yeah, see you, mate.
Sorry, I moved in before you got to say it. Too efficient. Well,
it'll sound good on the replay.
I have to say, pretty enjoyable race out there today. Montreal, that is going to be, yeah, I think that's going to be a bit of a corker. Always is. I expect we'll see a few more cars in the walls. Always seems to happen there. Nowhere for the crashes to go as well. So let's just hope we don't have a big one, as we've seen in the past.
Oh, but then it's more exciting if we have a big one.
Just something we haven't done for the last couple of weeks, but just who would you give driver of the day to today, lads?
Ooh, that's a
Yeah, you make
toughie.
it bad.
The cogs are ticking.
Yeah. I'd really have to go with. You'd have to go with. Oh, hang on.
I just happened to close my results sheet too.
Oh, you could. You'd have to give it to Jared. I think that was a good drive.
Yeah, I think you're right actually. They lost the lead earlier on, knew what sort of strategy he was, played a strategic race, just sat behind Tobias, waited, kept his tyres in reasonable fettle, and then did what he needed to do in that second stint perfectly. I think another driver worth giving a shout out to would be Mark as well, 4th place. Great job from him. And also Will. Yeah, you could pick one of about 5, I think.
Yeah, there's a few boys with some good results tonight, and a few unlucky boys with the incident at the start, and also the few dropouts they had with the internet. So.
Yep, just a reminder just for the sponsors and what we've got coming up. So GTOmegaracing.com for your rig, steering wheel stands, office seats. Do pretty much everything down there now. Just go check them out, GTOmegaracing.com. Leo Bodnar for steering wheel, G27 pedal cables, shifter adapter cables, button box modules. They do God knows what, all sorts of little different bits and bobs. So do check them out. You never know, you might want to build your own button box, and they've got all the bits for you. Simgarage.com, obviously actual button box provider mainly. Do check them out. They've got some great deals over there, US based. So if you're over there, you'll get some reduced courier charges over there. But actually talking to Kevin and Steve, their rates from getting it around the world are actually very, very reasonable, unlike some that we've seen. Just remember to everybody to follow us at Apex Racing TV and ARL-TV for Twitter and Facebook, and YouTube is at Apex Racing TV as well. Coming up next, we've got Sim Races Asia GT Series Round 3, which I am desperately trying to remember where it is. It's at Brands Hatch, synchronised with the GT3 Series this week, so that's going to be a bit of a corker. Everyone's going to have beautiful setup after a week's worth of racing, so we expect an action-packed race. And if you haven't checked that out before, do tune in. It's on in about an hour's time from now, so that's 12:40 GMT. If any of you are watching this back on YouTube another time, so Saturdays 12:40 straight after the V8s, tune in. So got a couple of cracking drivers there. It's basically a club championship where they compete against each other in for national pride, and they try and get up there. Right at the moment, just trying to remember who's at the top. I think it's Korea are leading the way at the moment. So
Yeah, and if you thought the V8s had a bit of biff and barge, the race last week, watching the replay back, was astonishing. A lot of biffing and barging in those GT cars, and yeah, action-packed definitely.
yeah, absolutely. Right, thanks guys for joining me in the commentary box. Always good to have you here. Next week, obviously, it's a little bit different because I'll be doing my first race, so hopefully we'll have one of the lads broadcasting. But you guys are going to take the commentary on your own. So the first challenge.
Yep, I think I might have to stockpile up on the beverages at night just to settle the nerves a bit.
You'll be more than fine. So it's been a great couple of weeks, and you can definitely tell you're getting more and more used to it. And yeah, deep end next week. That's it. After that, you'll have all your nerves will be gone.
I hope so. But if it's not broadcasted, you guys can catch the replay. I'll be getting it up on YouTube ASAP after the race. So definitely be a video out there somewhere floating around next week.
Yeah, great. Right, thanks, fellas. We will. Well, I'll catch you guys soon. But for everybody that's tuned in, thanks very much for watching. It's ARL-TV round 4, V8 SuperCar series from Road Atlanta. Jared takes the victory in fantastic style. Tobias consolidates his lead in the championship. We'll be back next week from Montreal.